Even the first armed robbery gang in this country, them be police. No, nah, I need be police. Now police too be. No. Osumbo, DSP Iyamu, exactly. DSP Iyamu.
We're not going to create a Nigerian economy that makes the rich richer and then makes the poor more miserable, because there are more poor people in this country.
Good day, my great and wonderful subscriber. Everywhere boss in the early hours of today, Tinubu is in total trouble. He cannot escape this. My people, sit tight and see an almighty exposure in this video. After this video, after watching it, then you will see more reasons to the fact that every single person in this country is open to insecurity. A past video showcase online today that has made a big chaos online today. The former DSS here in Nigeria exposed a lot of shenanigans that is being perpetrated by our government. My people, you will marvel. And this same claim was recently exposed in one of our previous videos where Seun Kuti exposed our security agencies. My people, this video will shocktalize you. My people, make sure you share this video to every social media platform. If you cannot share it, like it, give it a thumbs up so that YouTube will recommend it for us. We'll be back in a jiffy. Stay connected.
Welcome to LAJUPOG TV show.
The home of crime scene.
It's happening in the street again.
The center of political news, celebrity gossip, religious gossip, and happenings in the society.
Join us, the voice of Africa.
Welcome to LAJUPOG TV show, where we bring you political gist, celebrity, and religious gossip. If you have not yet subscribed to this channel, please do well to click the red subscription button, and don't forget to click the bell icon so that YouTube will notify you anytime we drop another trending gist. My people, in this video, a former JSS director, Mike Ejiofor, exposed a lot of secrets that are being perpetrated by our government, and this same evil is still being done by our government. They never stop thinking that the people of the country do not know anything about it. Same Seun Kuti, son of late Fela Kuti, exposed this same set of incompetent security personnel. If you check our previous video where Seun Kuti exposed them, he said a lot of things and a lot of people actually commented about it, where he talked about the incompetence of our security personnel. The life of the citizens of this country is not safe at all. It's high time we started protecting ourselves in this country before we remain few in this country. Our government do not care about us. This former DSS said a lot of things. My people, stick to this video so as to hear what he said about our police and government, because he has the experience as to what Nigerians face in the hands of this kidnapper and how they nap people of this country. He said the northern government have a lot of questioning to be asked, because as at the time he was kidnapped, then he saw a lot before he was released. And also he said the style in which these people use in negotiating with the family of those they kidnap and all. And if you check exactly what is happening today, you will see that there's no absolute difference in what is happening. Corrupt government, corrupt police force, corrupt judiciary, and also the big blow of all corrupt INEC personnel. And we expect Nigeria not to be in shambles. Obviously, these kidnappers do not take the life of people as serious as we think. Why do we find it so difficult to spot out Yorubas and also Igbo kidnapping the citizen? To bust your bubble, the last Igbo man that was apprehended came out and cleared himself that he's not a kidnapper, though he confessed to being an armed robber. But what I'm trying to pass across here is that the majority of these kidnappers are Hausas and Fulani. There is a means by which our government use in getting cash into their pocket, which gets and keeps me wondering how our government find it very difficult to nab this set of terrorists. And Nigeria is already upside down. The economy is down. Everything is going down. The naira to dollar rate is actually going down. Dollar keeps on rising, white naira keeps on going down. My people, stick to the end of the video and you will see more exposure. And at the end, I will give my opinion about the video. We see you right out of the video. Stay connected. We'll be right back shortly.
We must make a distinction between the various kidnaps. You have the Fulani gunmen who kidnap ostensibly to extort money, because these are part of fleeing Boko Haram people.
Okay, that's the thing, because if you say they're Fulani gunmen, are they Fulani gunmen or they are Boko Haram, those who are fleeing? They are combined.
They are Boko Haram, but you know that the bulk of them, because of the place they are coming from, are Fulanis. Then they kidnap, collect ransom to possibly replenish their depleting armory. And they do this in connivance with some notable people. So in their own case, it's quite different. They don't know their targets.
Notable people, security or civilians?
People in the society, including their security agencies, members of the security agencies. And now you look at, they don't have defined targets. They strike at any time, looking at possibly vehicles, because they don't know their targets.
Does that make them more dangerous?
Makes them more dangerous because in most cases they kill. If they fail to get their ransom, they kill their victims. That is different from what is happening.
That's organized crime.
Oh, yes.
Organized kidnapping crime.
Yes, that is different from this organized kidnapping. These people know their victims. They know their capacity, they know their capability, their ability to pay. So they go for such victims. And in most cases, all they're interested is that they must get their money. They don't kill their victims. On very rare cases that they kill their victims. So this, I want us to have a distinction between these sets of kidnappers. So whether it is the Fulani government, whether it is the organized kidnap, like what is happening, both are dangers to the society.
Why do you think it is thriving?
It is thriving because, you know, prior to this time, we used to have kidnaps, armed robbery, which has now gone down as it is because people hardly carry cash because of internet banking. So the best way and the easiest way for people to make money now, apart from the harsh economic conditions in the country, why it's thriving is that people make money through kidnapping. People are bound to pay. Before I became a victim, if you remember, the first interview, the encounter I had with you, I had always had this position that people should not pay ransom. Because if you pay ransom, it encourages people to pay more.
And I did ask you, what do they do in that particular challenge? Because it was easier to tell them not to pay. But ever since then, your views changed.
I've changed my views, you know, because like the government, the Fulani government, for instance, if you don't pay, they will kill. And you can't also blame the police. Once they have their victims and they are there, you can't go to confront them, especially in that Kogi axis, because the forest is so vast. And if you go to confront them, they will kill the victim because their life has no meaning to them.
What can a victim do in that kind of situation? Because you've had a first-hand experience. What can a victim do in that kind of situation to prevent an escalation of the minds of those kidnappers, just so that they don't eventually kill you?
No. You see, it's very easy, but people don't understand. One is that you must not try to escape. Don't you ever make the mistake of trying to escape. Cooperate with them. Whatever they tell you, just obey their instructions. And let also your negotiators be moderate in their negotiations, in their terms. Play along with them. If you try to escape, that's where you have problems, and that's why they kill most of the victims.
You know, the thing about that particular one, it looks as if there isn't any one-size-fits-all kind of response to this one, because we've heard people's accounts, especially the most recent case, how one of the victims escaped after having paid 150 million, and that's how they were eventually able to nab this aka Evans.
Yes.
So how do you respond to that?
No, you see, when God is at work, that's purely divine intervention. Until you're able to talk to the man to know how he escaped. You see, without being sentimental, even in the Bible, we saw how Peter escaped. People guarding him, and they all wanted to kill themselves. So when God is at work, you don't take chances. Like I said again, this group of people operating like Evans Group, they are after their money. They hardly can kill because they know they will be traced. Don't also forget that a ransom has been placed on the man since I think August 2013. And I must commend the police this time around, because I believe the success must due largely to the update in the technological intelligence gathering efforts. I think they have acquired new equipment that is assisting. Otherwise, that man is a very dangerous man, and it's going to would have been very, very difficult without the update in the technical intelligence.
But you know, there are those who also say, which is a point you mentioned briefly, that for these kidnappers, whichever category they are, to succeed, they do have some backing, either of trained military personnel or security or police. People always believe that there must be an element of such because the how brazen they operate perhaps points to that.
Yes, you cannot rule that out completely. There could be connivance between some of our retired.
Sure, I think that the best thing to say is that the government of President Bola Ahmed TINUBU has dropped the ball and lost the plot. When you come into government and we tell you that don't be too parochial with your appointments, we are front-loading the potential that almost everything you do will begin to have ethnic coloration. Here we are today. You were here, I had this conversation with you. When you take all this finance infrastructure and put it in one tribe, and maybe then you now decide that based on what you are seeing, you need to move CBN, one aspect of it, to Lagos, you need to do this, you need to do that. Little wonder everybody is now thinking that you are running a urbanized agenda in the country. But I warned you, so that's them. The second thing is that 8 months is a very long time for you to reflate the economy, especially when you have taken a lot of money through the subsidy program. If it took you only a second, immediately they saw you in and you asked, the subsidy is gone, the subsidy is gone. How much time do you need to tell them that if you don't increase the salary of the civil servant, you are not going to put money back into the system in a sustainable manner? They're at it for 8 months. Okay, insecurity. I know what the last administration of President Muhammadu Buhari, where they had reached. They had gotten to a point where they bought more equipment, the armed forces were beginning to charge at them, they are taking back territory that were lost, but you know what has happened to them? The entire space now is having to deal with issues that they can never, I repeat, with due respect to them, they do not have the mental capability or the gravitas to solve. People are getting kidnapped in the corridors of Lagos and the Southwest. Maybe the South has even abated a little bit because of the proactive efforts of some of their governors. The entire north central of this country is now like literally a war.
There are those who say in government as of today, they say, look, some of these issues are overbloated. Those some, they're exaggerated by some Nigerians.
Sure.
There are those in government who say that things are not as difficult or as bad as it is in terms of security.
I don't play the politics of let's pull the country down. I don't even play the politics of hating the commander-in-chief. I'm telling you that you cannot come to the Nigerian people and say to them that a country that has normalized condolences today, condolences tomorrow, condolences the next day, and conversational annoyance of saying highly placed for more than 10 years cannot come and tell us that we are overreacting. Would you wake the dead that we have killed? Look at what has happened in Oyo. Some guy is there as governor, not focusing on the work he's supposed to focus on. They've gotten a clutter of activities that has, what they're calling preliminary investigation, stockpiling of miners' weapons. That looks like a military grade ordinance, just looking at the crater in the middle. And you will ask yourself, what exactly is the responsibility of state governors at the subnational level to make sure that they can profile their own state? So, how are you going to solve that? Just before I got into your studio, I was just being told that some kings have been adopted in some part of the Southwest. It's alleged that some have been killed, some are. Look, my brother, let's go to the economy. You are pretending as if you don't know that over and above the fact that the currency of a country is a medium of exchange, that you do not know that national pride and integrity is also embedded in the value of the currency. Why would you run a situation in the country where the national currency of our country has become the pawn of jokes even by people that are spending CFR? Leave that. Come to national cohesion. Let me tell you, my dear Mr. President Bola Ahmed TINUBU, you know me, I know you. I have nothing against you. You are president now, do the job. You will do well to go and take a look at how the northern supporters of your party, who worked very hard to bring you in, the kinds of opinions they have about you now, because you have suddenly become a presidency that they think does not give them enough access. Other than that, why will your senators come together under another senators forum and begin to bellow like that, since you have a majority? And please, even the management of creative narrative is not being done properly. I find it extremely offensive on behalf of those of them who have been standing with the APC, standing with this party for so long, that suddenly a turncoat Bola is now the one that is getting pictures in the villa, getting pictures in front. Where is Ayo Yalowo, who crosses sword with me all the time? Where is Joy Bukwe, who crosses sword with me all the time? Where is Al-Hawan? That Al-Hassan, who crosses sword with me. These are men who have been just like me in PDP. Ismaila, all of them who have worked very hard for this party. And suddenly it's Bola now that is eating breakfast in the villa. It's Bola that is eating breakfast in Paris. And you expect people to believe that you know what you're doing.
But you were telling Bola that he should keep.
No, listen, that was sarcasm. I don't play that kind of silly games. I don't go to Bola TINUBU. I don't need Bola for that. I'm being honest with you. I'm telling you things, and I'm telling the president things that he needs to work on so that he can make his party a bit more stable. Leave that ECOWAS. You were here, I was here with you when the issue in the border with Nigeria, when they had their coup, and he was bellowing and all of that prematurely without even getting enough intelligence. Today, 3 countries have left an organization that we started in Lagos by the Lagos Treaty on May 28, 1975, a 49-year-old organization. Why? Because you seem to be giving people the impression that you are so much in bed with France when your African brothers are demanding that they get a fair, equitable placing on national conversation. And you have not even defined what our own foreign policy objective is, at least that of your administration. And before you tell me this site has always been in Nigeria, no, please. When President Muhammadu Buhari was in that villa, almost every president in the West African coast dealt with him with a lot of respect and a lot of deference. Here we are today. Which other area do you want us to talk about? Is it even the general feel of the country? They are creating an impression that this nation is going to become a place where nobody can give them opinion, nobody can criticize them, anybody who criticizes them is going to be abused and all. Where is Femi Fani-Kayode? While Bola is sitting in the villa and eating in France. Do you know the amount of work Femi had to do on this, trying to get them into this government? When you don't treat the people that have been with you for a long time, never leaving you well, you discourage the ones that are going to even put in energy in the future. Where are the people that were working with you with President Muhammadu Buhari? Did your government change power and suddenly become a government that everything that Buhari represented is bad and everybody that worked for Buhari is not available in your cabinet?
Let's bring fairness and transparency into this conversation. Will it be fair to criticize the Bola TINUBU government in the manner in which you have tonight, considering the fact that this government has spent just about 8 months in office, and they will say, the government will say, they're building foundations upon which their manifesto, the renewed agenda, the renewed hope agenda is going to stand on? Is it fair to criticize them in that manner, Mr. Seun?
Do you know why we put the feet of the leaders to fire? It's because as it is, we even overpamper them with privilege. We give them enough privileges to get the job done, and we don't have the patience to now begin to pamper them and give them excuses.
So you imagine Nigerians are impatient at the moment?
Everybody is impatient. You are impatient. I'm impatient. Do you know what the value of currency is? Do you know what the level of inflation is? Our currency is going down. It's not reached rock bottom yet. We don't even know their strategy to stabilize it.
But you look at the performance on the stock exchange.
Listen, you are building bubbles all over the place. Some of us are not stupid, please. You are building bubbles all over the place. And if it bursts, you're going to have a bigger catastrophe. Pray. Why is your stock exchange doing so well and your risk sector not doing well? Why does the stock doing so well and inflation is the way it is? Let me tell you one of the silliness of their policy. When President Muhammadu, with due respect, people are hearing me, I visited him, they're asking me, they are seeing me appreciate him more. It's because with the benefit of hindsight, you can see what he was trying to do. When he changed the currency, you know what would have happened for us if we had kept it? Instead of them bellowing and shouting and insisting that they want to bring it back, we would have reduced the amount of money in rogue hands that is not playing within the banking sector. The quantum of money that is not playing within the banking sector now is part of the reason why they are chasing the dollar every day. You have increased subsidy. That means that you are getting more money to FARC. That means you are giving more money to state and local government. Have you checked to see what they're doing with it? What you are having is that when you see people just wanting to buy dollar in your country, you have to ask, has our import need in terms of items increased so much What exactly are we buying? What exactly are we using the dollar? You should know that that is speculation occasioned by your mismanagement of your financial policy. Even if we don't give him a benefit, what can we do apart from talk to him and tell him let's fix our country? It's not about President Bola Ahmed TINUBU.
Do you believe in his capacity as the leader of this country?
The election is over. This is not politics. This is national development. This is national cohesion. This is national peace. This is regional stability. This is making sure that every part of this country feels that this government and this presidency represents them. I'm not the one creating the narrative of Yorubanization. I'm not. I don't believe in certain, but that's what it's looking like. And people are getting extremely irritated by it. I traveled around this country. I listened to the deeper things that have been said in the far corners of this nation. And I can tell you, postponing the management of the Nigerian economy in such a manner that the Nigerian people can feed, can feel safe, can sleep well at night, or at least can be hopeful, is an urgent responsibility. All their fancy talk, somebody is getting bad, why were they quick to give themselves in the budget all of the things that will make their own life comfortable now? Why didn't they delay the things that will make them comfortable so that they can pay more attention to the things that will make the Nigerian poor a bit able to say, yes, this government is going in the right direction? And Seun, my attitude has always been, let us surface the issues, let us discuss it, let us even suggest some solutions. But the way they're going about things, I'll put it to you this way. Sometimes ago, just after he had won, someone had come to say they wanted to do a documentary of those who have known him for a long time. And for one reason or the other, they came to me. And you know what I said? I said, if Bola Ahmed TINUBU, now president, does not have the capability to fix the economy, I doubt if anybody within his generation can so do. And I also added another caveat. I said, I know that he respects other nations, America and all that, but that I know that he ought to understand that Nigeria has to pull itself up by the bootstrap and fix his own country. You can't run the biggest nation that is black in sub-Saharan Africa, that is very hopeful of the future, on an assumption that people are going to think suddenly the presidency of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, his address of visitation is no longer England, our traditional partner. It has suddenly become France. And with due respect to the French, they are the only ones who have to do a survey of all the French-speaking francophone countries to know exactly what their reputation and their perception is. What is our president doing there 24 hours? Are you then surprised that 24 to 36 hours after he arrived France, countries in West Africa who feel that France is the issue that they have with all of their own local politics are saying they want out of ECOWAS? Please, let me ask you, should a 50-year-old, near 50-year-old organization just wake up in the morning and say they are going out, and you begin to shop to the diplomacy to say what's going on here? Yeah, I accept that, yes, they've done a coup. The federal government of Nigeria cannot really support a coup. But what happened to all the dialogue processes that are supposed to be going on behind to make your African brothers understand that Nigeria is the nation of the strength of a presidential declaration of that nature within the sub-region? It is inversely related to the amount of respect they have for you and your words. If you make statements and you see that your African neighbor, this is the Nigeria that will sit down in Abuja, will quell coup in Syria alone, will sit down in Abuja, will compel compliance in Gambia, will sit down in Nigeria, will resolve issues in Liberia, will sit down in Nigeria. I can't, how many times the president of Nigeria used to come to Abuja just to come and greet the real big brother, which is the presidency of Nigeria. How did we become this? Seun, if nobody can tell Bola Ahmed TINUBU the truth, I will, because you see, how
do you summarize it though? What do you think is going on?
No, I think what has happened, I'll tell you. You see, when a leader is coming, and is coming with the mindset that the people that he has been with all of his life are the only ones that know, he's going to have a skewed appointment. And once his appointment is skewed, what he's going to do is that the ones that don't want to talk or even get themselves irritated by what's going on will just take their capacity and move away. And that's what's happening. Look, the kinds of things I'm hearing around Bajabi Amila, the chief secretary, chief of staff, the internet is filled with it. Some of them may be rumors, some of them are things that are still being investigated. But I was here with you when they were asking me, and I was saying that capacity to do that job does not exist there, and it has nothing personal to do with him. He's my brother, he's my friend, I like him. I like the fact that he has done a lot of things in Lagos, which is what do you call it, give back. But the office of the National Security Advisor of the government, that even has some potential covetousness in its history, cannot be run by people that are too covetous. If people that are around a man that is as straight as Buhari can be as covetous as we are now finding now, what then do you expect when you put the covetous to be leading the covetous? That's the problem.
So, if you were to advise and in seeking solution, because the country is for everyone,
of course,
and the best of the country is what we all should pursue.
Okay.
Now the question will be, how do we go from here as a people?
First things first, I'll first of all say that I've become convinced now over time that when you leave the office, especially when it's not a hostile takeover, you cannot disdain the experience, opinion, and suggestion and help of your predecessors. He cannot, if he does that, he does it at his own peril. The experience that people like Buhari bring to the table is a lot. He needs to visit him more, he needs to consult him more, especially when it comes to sub-region issues and the fringes of the north. That's my position. The other thing on the economy, he needs to let the people understand, especially Wale Edun and all of the guy in Cardoso and all of them. He needs to let them understand that I am not trying to build an economy solely for GDP so that Bretton Woods organization like World Bank and IMF can be giving me pass mark. I'm not interested. I am interested in building an economy that is resilient and serves the poor people of Nigeria and gives them the opportunity to begin to live the type of life that renewed hope is supposed to be. And every second we spend waiting before we begin to give them this thing is too late for me. Look, let me tell you what would have happened if you had increased salaries of civil servants. They would have been getting that increased salary in a sustained manner. The private sector would have followed up, they would have done a little bit more to keep their workforce. That money would have gone back into the market. People would have been, you would have started to see the economy growing. You can't run a big economy on palliative, especially when you are even running the palliative as wholesale instead of as retail. That's that. You need, Mr. President, with due respect, sir, I fear that you may lose the economy or you may not do well on the economy. And that would be like a big shame because I feel that that's your strong point. I truly feel that Bola Tinubu's strong point is the economy. But I expect you to understand that we're not going to create a Nigerian economy that makes the rich richer and then makes the poor more miserable because there are more poor people in this country. You can't be impressing me with the numbers of Aliko Dangote's stock exchange growth in such a short time. What am I going to do with that?
You could see and hear what a member of opposition party Chief Seun Kuti said about the security and economy of Nigeria. President Tinubu keeps running Nigeria economy, a big economy at that on palliative, which cannot in any way help the economy to grow. He made a statement that instead of allocating big funds on the purchase of SUV cars and all, they should have thought of increasing worker salary. By now, the citizen will be able to survive in this harsh economy. President Tinubu cannot do well in the aspect of economy. This are Seun Kuti's word, but obviously it's true. Imagine an economy running on palliatives and the minister of his administration is still eating funds that is not enough. Ever since Betta Edu was exposed and suspended from the office, have you heard anything pertaining to suspension or penalty that she's supposed to face? No, they are one way or the other paving way for more corruption. A country that is known to be giant of Africa that do not have the city penalty for looting of funds, is that not a means for others of the administration to loot funds? And we have military personnel taking 50,000 naira home for monthly salary, while we have our politicians stealing public funds. If not for any reason, at least for the fact that these people are endangering their lives to protect the citizens of the country, they should try and increase salaries of the worker. But no, how they are going to load their pocket with public funds is the priority, is their main priority. Most people that are actually advocating for President Tinubu, as at the time he was a candidate of a presidential post, then are actually complaining now that they shouldn't have supported him then, because they actually believe that if not President Tinubu, who else will do it? Because they actually feel that he has the power to make these things right, because he has a lot of connections. But to their greatest surprise, President Tinubu is actually doing the otherwise. He's going to France to go and cool his head, to go and chill, but Nigeria is upside down. Even the kidnapping and all that has been happening in the country, he does not really talk about them. All he has in his mind is how to go outside and cool his head, and we are not actually seeing his impact, because most people are saying that at least for 8 months now that he has been in the position, we're supposed to be seeing 1 or 2 things that is actually happening, that is happening to the economy of the country. If the economy of the country cannot grow up sporadically, at least they should see a little change in it. But with the present situation of the country, there's nothing like that is actually happening. Nigerians are already clamoring for change, but this change is not actually coming to us. My people, feel free to share your opinion in the comment section pertaining to everything I've shown you in this video, and don't forget to share this video to every social media platform. If you cannot share, like it, give it a thumbs up so that YouTube will recommend it for us. And if you are coming across this channel for the very first time, do well to click the red subscription button, and don't forget to click the bell icon so that YouTube will notify you anytime we drop another trendy video. See you in our next video. Bye for now.